What is up, guys? Chris here, Bear Market Mining. Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm helping you tackle a huge problem that many people have, getting Vast.AI and Ubuntu installed cleanly and quickly. So even for experienced users, getting this whole thing set up right can be a real headache. So today I'm taking the pain out of that for you. I'm going to go from start to finish, how to set this up, how to get it installed, and most importantly, how to get you rented. There's going to be chapters for every section below. So if there's one particular part you're getting stuck on, make sure you check that and get yourself online. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, to start, we're going to need to download this ISO. So this is the Vast.AI installer from Blessed Noob. So you're going to go to the GitHub here and download this ISO. I will leave all the links down below so you can get into this really easy. You're very simply just going to click on it, download it, and then we're going to get it flashed. Nice and easy, nice and fast. To flash it, we're using Balena Etcher, so we'll flash from file, that ISO that we just downloaded. Very easy, so you're going to click on this, you're going to select that as the file. You're then going to make sure that we have our USB flash drive installed. Very simple, if it's a brand new one, just format it so it's ready to go. Then once that's all done, you're going to click flash, and very shortly it will begin with the process. Now this will take a few minutes depending on your hardware. So now that that's done, we're going to get our NVMe ready. You're going to go down into the Windows bar, type in CMD, then type disk part. We're going to list the disk. Now make sure you select the right disk here. Mine is disk 3. You don't want to mess this one up. It will give you some problems. Once that's selected, you're going to clean it just to make sure it's good to go. You see, I took a second here just to make sure it was right. And then it took a few seconds longer than I expected to actually get this one cleaned, but still a very easy process through our CMD, the command down there. So once that's done, you want to convert it to a GPT as so. Very simple, and that is ready to go. Just like that, we're up and away, ready to get it done. All right, guys, we're inside the mining room now. Hopefully you can hear me all right. There is a fair bit of noise with all these fans going on in the background. So next up, we're going to get this M.2 installed. We're going to get a USB installed, and then we'll move on to the next step of actually getting Vast up and running. All right, so our USB is going in just like so. We've got our M.2 right here. It needs to be installed right there, so I'm going to put the camera down for a second and get this thing plugged in, then we'll boot it up. So once you turn it on, we're going to go into the BIOS settings, because what we want to do is make sure that the flash drive is going to be loaded up first. It should automatically do it, but we're going to do it just because these Epic boards, you can see the debug list there, are notoriously slow for booting up. So what we're going to do is wait here for an eternity until we start to see this mouse or keyboard flashing, which lets us know it's booting up. Then we'll spam this delete key to get into the BIOS and go from our flash drive there. Sitting on the number 11 debug light. Usually stays there for a good 30 seconds or so. Waiting we shall. Flashing now, so we hit this delete key. Take us in here, go across to boot. Make it the flash disk. Press F10. Save it and we're away. as we can see right there, it's auto installing the Ubuntu server with Vast on it. So this can take a little while depending on your hardware. You can see it's having a think right now. So give this about 10 minutes. It's probably not going to do much depending on what you're using for a while. If you were to sit around, you'd see a bunch of code run down the screen, but we don't need all of that. All we need is our Ethernet address, so our IP address, so we can SSH into this rig and start doing everything from the other computer. So we'll check back in just a second when that's up on the screen. Okay, so after about 10 minutes, that is all done. It's done basically everything we need to do from this point. So you'll press enter, and it's going to ask us for a login here. For this downloader, the login and pass is Vast Bootstrap, VAST-BOOTSTRAP, and it's the same for the password. Bootstrap. Click enter, and that will take you in just like that. Now, this is all we need to do right here. It's auto-assigned our IP. So normally it would be up on this screen here for us to find, but we can use a command that is it's IPA. That's going to give us our IP address. Now, this is what's going to we're going to be able to log in on the computer with. Now, it's in here somewhere. It's this number right here, 192.168.8.127. So this is the IP of this rig here itself. So this is all we need to do right now from this rig. And now we can do everything else, the whole setup, from the comfort of our main PC. So let's check back in there and get this thing up and running. Okay, now that we are done in that hot, loud mining room and the physical install is done, we've got our IP address for that rig. We're going to need to download Termius. So you go to termius.com/download/Windows. And I'll leave all these links down below so you don't have to go searching for them. They'll be right there, but you're going to download Termius and install it. This is basically going to allow us to use an SSH portal to get into that rig so we can do everything from in here, and we don't have to run into that room in and out. So I've obviously already downloaded it, and what we're going to do right here, so once you've created an account, you'll log in. You're simply going to go to click on new host. Now this will pop up on the side. You want to take that IP address that we had before, copy it in there. The SSH on is the 22 port, and then it's Vast Bootstrap again. I'm typing underneath my microphone, and Vast Bootstrap again. So we'll check that we've got that right. Yep, it looks all good. We've got our IP address right. Then we're going to click connect. Click agree and continue. And it should take us straight in. So here we are. We can see we're already in, and from here it gets very, very easy. So you're going to run this command to continue the setup as it describes. Click copy, Control-Shift-C, Control-Shift-V, click enter. Now you're going to decide a name for this host. So this is a 5090 rig. So I'm with an Epic, so I'll call it EPYC 5090, click enter. EPYC 5090 again, click enter, and then put a password in. Finally, we've got it working now. Now we're going to need the Vast install command. So this is going to be specific to your actual rig. So you're going to need a Vast.AI account. So we're going to jump on over to that page, and I'll show you where you can get that install command from. So in your cloud.vast.ai page, you're going to go into setup here on the left. And then you're going to go into the install manager, which will take you down here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Recommended for new hosts. You can do that if you want to. I don't think you need to because you have got this guide. So we're going to go with the advanced user guide. I'm going to click on this one right here, and we're going to paste that back into our SSH in Termius. Now it's going to have a series of questions for you here. If you want to install certain things, yes to all of them. Install Vast.AI locally, yes. A clean terminal dashboard for GPU temps. This is one of the things that's added in this one-click installer from Blessed Noob, so shout out to him. It's all yeses all across the board. Now this is gonna work away, it'll take a little bit, so we'll check back in when this is all done. All right, once that first install is done, we're gonna go back on out. We're gonna click on our rig and we wanna change our username and password to what we just saved before. So in this case, it was EPYC 5090 and my password for me. I'm gonna click connect and that should take us straight in. Yep, here we are. So now the sudo is waiting. It wants to continue this installer. So again, you're gonna click Control-Shift-C, Control-Shift-V, enter your password in again, and let it do its thing. It's installing NVIDIA drivers, other stuff, kernels, all that good stuff to get you up and running. All right, it is time for the pre-flight phase 3. So again, all you're going to do is highlight this command right here, Control-Shift-C, Control-Shift and V. Enter in your password. Click enter. Now we're going to run the phase 3 pre-flight checklist. We don't need to restore previous Vast machine IDs or show the current Vast machine ID because it doesn't have one yet. So we're going to click 1 and it's going to ask us for some ports. So we're going to continue to register this, ready for phase 3, click yes. We're then going to copy this command one more time and resume. We're not going to leave a power limit on this just yet, but if you wanted to, this is where you would enter it in, press enter. It should ask us for some port ranges in a second. So if you're running one rig, you need 100 open ports, right? So you could start at 60,500. I've currently got one 5090 on this, but I'm planning on putting another one. So I'm going to go 60,700 as my starting, the 60,899 as my ending, and let it do its thing. All right, so next step, now that is all done, you can see here the really useful commands. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our API key. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this command right here, Vast.AI set API-key. We're going to go back into our Vast console right here. We're going to go into keys. We're going to go into API keys. We're going to click plus new name. We'll call this the epic/5090 and click save. And I'm going to copy this key and go back to Termius. Delete that right there. Control-Shift-V and click enter. So once you enter your API key in, you're done there. It should be registered in the cloud Vast.AI dashboard. So go back to your dashboard, log into your account, and you should see it right here. So this is the 5090 and Epic board that we just got installed. So you'll notice that everything has populated at the moment. It's got our CPU, it's got our RAM here, our NVMe speeds, our internet speeds up and down, and also our reliability now. This was filmed yesterday and it starts at about 60%. It hasn't had any rentals yet, but it gets up to about that 86-90% pretty quickly within about 24 hours. And the longer you stay online, obviously the higher that reliability score will be. So what we want to do now is just go through this dashboard a little bit. First thing you need to do is set up how you actually get paid, right? So if you go into your earnings tab over here, right down the bottom, it's got Stripe, it's got PayPal, and it's got Wise transactions. So Stripe and Wise have a 1% fee, transaction fee, I'm fairly sure, whereas PayPal is a little bit more at the 3%. So I've set up with Stripe here, and you can see your earnings by day through this dashboard as well. So we've only recently started this account with our 4060 Ti, which has been getting a few little rentals, but at a fairly cheap price. So let's go through now and have a look at some of those settings. Make sure you can see all of that. So your on-demand price is going to be the price that people can pick to rent you out if you're on a minimum bid price job or an interruptible price job, which is down here. You can see the D is for demand and the I is for interruptible. So it's going to give you the median sort of listing price for your rig, whatever your hardware is. So these 5090s are at 0.35 cents, 35 cents, I should say, USD per hour. And most of them are rented out. About 80 or 75% of them are rented out at the moment, which means there's a fair bit of demand. Now, the on-demand price is going to include your storage price as well, your volume allocation down here. So you can set this as high as you want or as low, but bear in mind that if you say, for instance, have a 750 gig storage price per month, you have to work that out per day as well and per hour, because that will add this total volume amount onto your on-demand price. So that will make you appear more expensive in the market. Your minimum bid price is just what people can, bid to get you rented. If you're on an interruptible job, your storage price, your internet bandwidth pricing, all that sort of stuff. Now your end date here is how long you want this rig to be available to be rented. So if you only wanted to be on, 1 month rentals like I am right here, in case pricing changes, you'd set it for 1 month ahead, but you could set it, a decade ahead if you wanted, just to get that one rental. But in my opinion, medium to sort of, medium term rentals, about a month, are pretty good, because the market price can change. If demand, like it has recently for a coin called Pearl, comes up, these prices have tripled. And if you're stuck on a rental for a month, you might not have the option to take advantage of those prices. So the next question is, how do you set your prices? So if you want to get rented out really fast on a single card rig, there's a few different ways to do it. So we've got a 5090 here. So we'll select our 5090, as we can see. Now, the first way you could look at it is you could say, set the prices to increasing. That's going to show you the cheapest possible price that people have listed, right? So that way, you know that if you're at the very top and people just want small jobs, you've got a 5090. If you've got a 5090, you've probably got reasonable hardware along with it. You're very likely to get rented. But if you want it to be, a little more specific about it, you could say, for instance, start with, okay, my machine is unverified. So it will show a few de-verified and unverified rigs in here. If we were to use my rig for an example, we've got one GPU. Let's scroll down here, machine resources. So I have a 64 core processor. I have 128 gigabytes of RAM. Let's just go 120 there. My internet upload speed is not great. It's about 100 megabytes a second. My internet download speed is about a gigabyte a second. So you can see straight away for the unverified machines, we've really dropped down here. So this is exactly what people using my sort of hardware who are unverified or de-verified are charging, which, as you can see, is a little bit above the median price. If you were to remove that from the unverified, you know, it sort of stays the same. So that's a pretty good idea, you know, to figure out what your rig would be worth. If you were to assume that people didn't necessarily care about the upload speed, you know, the options open a fair bit higher, you know, 50 cents, 60 cents, $1.30 this person has this rig set for. So that's a really good way to do it. I would say you can either spec your hardware based off what everyone else has got on here, or you can simply go to the cheapest price, set below that, and more than likely you're going to get rented out very quickly. So that is going to conclude our tutorial there, guys. So we went through setting up the disk from the very start, getting it flashed, you know, installing the software, and getting you rented and paid, which is the most important part. So as I mentioned, I'll leave all the links down below in a nice, neat list so you can see everything there and get it all done. Make sure you drop a comment if you have any questions, or more importantly, join the Discord. We've got lots of people on Vast in there who are more than happy to help you out. The link for Discord is in the description, guys. If you liked the video, consider liking the video, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!